man, it's spooky season.
It is spooky season, and that brings up something I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
What do you think is the scariest sound?
Ooh. Now, am I being like surprised by this?
Just like a sound that is very unnerving to you. It's not like necessarily a jump scare, but it's like a sound that when you hear it, it's just like, oh man.
Because like a scream is scary, but really only in the context of like a jump scare. Like I don't find someone screaming to be like that terrifying.
Definitely depends on the context.
Right. The context is very important there. Let's see, what are some other scary sounds? I think maybe that like that whole like group of sounds that leads you into leads your mind into wondering what's there, like the creaking door, or like the floor that creaks, or the window that like blows shut or whatever. It's not one specific sound, but they all lead you down that pathway of like, oh shit, you think you're alone, but you're not.
Okay. So the kind of the more suspenseful sounds, the sounds that could theoretically lead to something.
Yeah. Like, well, even just in terms of like horror movies in general, like jump scares aren't my thing. Although I do like a good like old school cheesy slasher film. But no, I guess as far as the sound, it's more of like what it gets your own head to create.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like the whole like being afraid of the dark. Like you're not afraid of the dark. There's nothing.
You're afraid of what you can't see in the dark.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, I guess for me sounds kind of work the same way. Do you have a sound that scares you?
I did have a sound in mind, and I think I think you'll agree with me to some extent. It's the emergency alert system sound.
Oh God. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That is like every time I hear that, it's like no matter, like even though 95% of the time when I hear that sound, it is nothing to be concerned about. Like something about that sound just makes my heart drop. It's the most like terrifying sound ever.
Yeah, like I don't know that I've ever actually heard it when it hasn't been like a test.
Really? I mean, I would hear it for all the time for like tornado warnings in Michigan.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe I just thought it was like a different thing because it didn't have the usual like, this is just a test of the emergency alert system. And so I was like, oh, that's a weather reminder. That's different than an emergency alert.
Yeah.
I guess
man, yeah, that shit, like, it's crazy because like the emergency alert system's been around for like so long. And who came up with that sound? Who thought like, yeah, this is the sound we should use? I mean, it's brilliant. It certainly catches your attention, but it's wild, you know?
Yeah. To go along with that, the sound of like the tornado sirens.
Yeah, I mean that's very like similar to like a fucking air raid sound, so
yeah, but they do the same thing like they do with the emergency alert system, and they test the sirens. It's like, God, and I can never remember what it is, but like whenever they go off, someone's always like, "Oh yeah, it's the first Tuesday of the month. They're testing the sirens," or like, "Yep, last Sunday of the month." It's like, Did you just calculate like what today happens to be and just make that shit up? Because I swear it's never consistent.
It really doesn't seem to be. No. You know what else is weird? Like some people might not even really know what you're talking about because there's plenty of places that like living in Oregon now, we don't have fucking tornado sirens that have to be tested.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got too many mountains for tornadoes around here.
I mean, I've definitely heard tornado sirens when there have been tornadoes in the area. You know, because it'll be like a weird time. It'll be like, you know, like 7:00 on a Thursday night. Like, that's not the time when they test it. But, you know, and you know that there's bad weather in the area. But yeah, so many times I've heard people be like, oh, first Saturday of the month at 2:00, it's siren time.
Yeah.
Like, where did you hear that from? But yeah, when you hear them for real, that shit's kind of fucking scary.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that always threw me off. Yeah. I don't know that I would necessarily call it like the scariest sound, but it's very spooky.
Yeah. It's startling.
Yeah. Which is intentional, obviously. Like again, like it's a great sound. It's intended to do exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets your attention, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. But spooky season is upon us.
Yeah, did you hear about the time they accidentally set out a nuclear alert in Hawaii?
That sounds really familiar, but it's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to talk about that, like, that War of the Worlds radio program or whatever that, like, everyone lost their minds over and thought it was, like, a real warning about aliens attacking.
I do remember hearing about that, yeah, but no, this was a few years back. I pulled up a picture just to read it. A bunch of people got, like, notifications on their phones that said ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill.
Oh, gosh.
Can you imagine? That'd be fucking terrifying.
Hell yeah, that would. Oh my God.
And it was just a complete goof. Someone just pushed a wrong button.
Oh my gosh. God. That had to be scary as shit.
Yeah, no, I would be terrified to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Especially because Hawaii is the closest country to like the Eastern world, specifically places like North Korea that don't seem to be huge fans of us. So especially like a couple years back, like I could definitely, I would believe that 100% for at least a couple minutes.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We were not their favorite people for a while. We're still probably not, but yeah. Damn. God, Hawaii's just all off on their own, man. They're so far away from the rest of us.
They really are.
Like, it's kind of absurd until you like actually map out how far away Hawaii is.
Yeah, they're pretty goddamn far off. It's almost unbelievable that they're even like part of the country.
Yeah. Yeah, let alone a state. You know, like, because we've got like territories and stuff like Puerto Rico, but that's not a state. Not that it makes a ton of difference, but
Sean and I were talking about this on stream a while back. It's kind of wild to me how ultimately recent it is that Hawaii was added as a state. Like I can't imagine a US that doesn't have 50 states, but there are people alive who were alive before there were 50 states, and that's wild.
Yeah, it was in like the 50s, wasn't it?
Something like that. Hang on, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I know obviously like Alaska and Hawaii were the last two, but
Yeah, it was 1959. My dad was born 5 years later. Like it's not that long.
Yeah, well, my dad was born in 1950, so he was 9 years old. For 9 years of his life, there were not 50 states.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we learned that song in school about the 50 nifty United States. I still know them all in alphabetical order.
I don't think I do.
Oh, damn. Damn, I can bust those out pretty damn quick.
I'm really good at naming them on a map, though.
I'm not as good with that. I just definitely memorize them in alphabetical order. So I know all 50 states and I know them in alphabetical order, but picking them out on a map is a little tougher. I got to do a little process of elimination in some areas.
Oh, I mostly have to in like the southeast where there's just like a shit ton of states. It's like, okay.
Yeah, the southeast and then like the middle of the country gets a little goofy. I get like,
well, that's confusing because like a lot of the states in the east have really identifiable shapes, and then you get out to the west and it's like, okay, there's 4 of these that are just basically squares.
Right, all next to each other.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's goofy. There was a program on I don't know, like History Channel or Discovery or Travel or something a few years ago called How the States Got Their Shapes. And that was kind of cool. I only saw a couple episodes, but from what I saw it was pretty cool. Like it gave like all sorts of like disputes over like state borders and things like that. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Breakroom Nachos, everybody.
What is this, 84?
84.
Damn.
We're catching up to your birth year.
This is my birth year. Yeah, 84.
That is your birth year.
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was 86, but you're older than I thought.
Yep, I'm an old fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I got about a little less than a month. About a month before my birthday. Then I'm going to be a really old fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Actually, it's my brother's birthday today. I got to text him.
Oh, nice. Which one?
Younger.
Okay. Right on. How are your brothers doing? I haven't heard about them in a while.
You know what's wild? And this is related, I swear. I have a TikTok account. I have for a while. I think I talked about this on the podcast at some point, where I just post clips from my live streams, right?
Yeah.
My older brother got one of my clips on his TikTok completely randomly, just in his like For You page.
Really?
Yeah, like he wasn't following me. He didn't even know I had a TikTok. It just showed up for him.
Really? That's kind of wild.
Yeah, a little bit weird.
Huh. Damn, I feel like I had something like that happen, but no, I don't think it was anything that crazy. Huh.
Yeah, man. And then my younger brother's doing well. He just bought an old as shit Audi, and I'm kind of jealous of him because like I'm not much of a car guy, but I do think Audis are beautiful cars.
Nice. So has he not had a car up until this point?
No, my little brother fucking buys and sells cars like crazy because he's a big car kid. So
I gotcha.
When this time last year when he helped me move to Oregon, he was driving a, I forget the exact model. It was a Pontiac. It's like the classic Pontiac police car. No, maybe not Pontiac. What the fuck was it? It was he kept
like a Crown Victoria.
That's it. Yes. He was driving a Crown Vic.
Yep. Yeah, those
And,
are famous for being police cars.
Yeah, that's the one. And it still had police paint on it.
Nice.
But apparently it was legal because it didn't have like the lights on it, and it wasn't like from Michigan. It was a Pennsylvania. So
yeah, I mean they sell those things at auction. Like
yeah, but they're usually painted over. They don't usually still have the paint on them.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Huh. That's goofy.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. When we were wrapping up the last episode, we ran out of time. You were going to tell a story. And
I was.
You wanted me to remind you of it, and I actually remembered that you had a story and that I needed to remind you. So this is your reminder. I would like to hear your story.
You're gonna love this. This is so good. So I was in the middle of streaming when someone popped into my Discord, which is not uncommon. My Discord's got a good number of people in it at this point. They messaged me while I was streaming through the Discord, and they asked if they could talk to me about something, and I was like, I'm in the middle of streaming, and they were like, when are you not going to be streaming? And I'm like, give me a couple hours, I don't know. And they were like, oh, can I watch the stream? And I was actually in the middle of doing a Patreon exclusive stream, so I was like, you gotta join the Patreon. He was very pushy, seemed very much like they wanted to talk to me, and I had no idea who they were. And so I ended the stream and I went to talk to them through direct messages, and excuse me, and they told me they came across me in YouTube Shorts. And if you don't know what YouTube Shorts is, it's like TikTok for YouTube. It's just TikTok videos, but on YouTube instead. I post my clips on YouTube as YouTube Shorts as well. So he found me through one of those, and he said he asked me if we could work out a sponsorship. And he told me that he had a social media advertising business. And immediately I'm a bit confused because he's asking if we can work out a sponsorship, which to me suggests that he wants to sponsor one of my videos. But being that he's doing like a social media advertising or marketing like firm, kind of sounds more like he wanted me to like buy advertising from him, right? So I was really sure what he wanted, but I didn't want to be rude. So
okay.
He told me he had a website, and I was like, can I see your website? He sent me his website. I checked it out. Most generic fucking website, generic, nondescript, non-informational website I've ever fucking seen. It was like, it had like a bunch of stock photos on it. It was very clearly like a pre-set up template, all of this stuff.
Oof. Okay.
So at this point, I'm thinking like, all right, this person either is legitimately just bad at their job or is trying to scam me somehow. So I just respectfully told him I'm not really looking for this kind of thing right now. And He was actually pretty understanding about it. He was like, all right, that's fine. But then I got a message from someone in my Discord saying that this person had reached out to them and was asking them to invest in their marketing firm.
Oh no.
So at this point, I'm mad. Like, you can try to sell shit to me all you want. I don't care. Do not reach out to and solicit to members of my Discord. That is not okay.
Yeah.
And so that's what I told him. I banned him out of my Discord, and I told him, don't message anybody in my Discord. If you're messaging anybody right now, leave them alone. And his response was interesting. He said, that's pretty rude. You know, you have your own ways. I have my own ways. Which I think was his way of saying, you market your way, I market my way, right?
Right.
But again, at this point, I'm pretty mad. So I tell him, so he's going on a Discord and trying to sell to a bunch of strangers. Sorry, this was me in response to him calling me rude. So is going on a Discord and trying to sell to a bunch of strangers. You're infecting my community with your scam bullshit. And he was like, oh, you don't have any proof that I'm scamming. And I said, your website doesn't use proper grammar. Don't even try to convince me you're not a scammer.
That all sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I was maybe overreacting a little bit, but at the same time, these kind of people really piss me off. You know, these people who just I don't know. There's ways to go about marketing, and this is not like, unsolicited or unsolicited solicitation is very much a way that I don't approve of,
Yeah.
He responds, "My man, we offer services to help engage and grow content creators. We give them tips and things they need to beat in their business or a channel." And mind you, this grammar is going to be fucked because he was very bad at his grammar. My initial assumption was that he was someone who didn't have a good grasp of the language, which is pretty common in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
And at this point, I had been looking at his website a bit, and I found on his website a link to, mind you, by the way, his website did not show any examples of like what he would do for people or people he had done this kind of work for. But they did have a link to a YouTube channel. So I clicked on the YouTube channel, looked it over a little bit, and I messaged him back. I said, "Bruh, you can't even grow your own videos. You have 23 subscribers. You don't know a thing about marketing."
Right.
Like, come on. I know enough about internet marketing to know that if you know how to market, you'll have more than 23 subs.
Right. Yeah. This is someone out there trying to sell their marketing services to you, and they can't even market for themselves.
Yeah, unbelievable. And you will not believe their next response. It is actually absurd.
All right, let's hear it.
They said, "Who, me? I don't know a thing about marketing. I take a whole business class in middle school." Not even a high school class, not a college course. He took a business class, not a marketing class, a business class in middle school.
He took a whole class in middle school. Of course he knows what he's talking about. Oh, God.
So I laughed at him. I laughed at that response. And he said, "It's funny, as many people accuse me of scamming. That's actually how rude how you are right now. You don't know how much you can go down just for what you're saying right now." Basically, he's trying to threaten that he's going to get me canceled for saying that he doesn't know a thing about marketing.
Oh, God.
And then this is a real interesting twist. He tried to claim that his YouTube channel had no subscribers because he had just started his company and he lived in Florida, and that I was making fun of a Hurricane Ian victim.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, you.
So I was like, "Are you seriously trying to guilt trip me? Are you seriously trying to guilt trip me right now after you tried to solicit myself and my Discord members?"
Wow. That yikes, that takes some balls.
Yeah, really. And so he says, "At the end of the day, you're saying you can't even grow your own videos, but you have 23 subscribers." And so I respond, like, he's clearly not understanding what I'm saying. So I respond, "You do realize an inability to market oneself is indicative of an inability to market as a whole, right?"
Right.
Like we just talked about.
Yeah.
And I at this point, like, I'm so confused by all this because it sounds so strange. I tell him, "I can't tell if you're a child or you don't speak good English because the things I'm saying are pretty easy to follow." I'm getting pretty snippy. I'm like clapping back at him,
Yeah. Oh.
And this one, I'll give the guy points for honesty. This one caught me off guard. He said, "I'm 13. I was trying to be honest, and I was.
I mean, that's a new one. Like, I've never heard that before.
I'm genuinely shocked. And here's the thing. I believe him. He's genuinely 13. Because I went and looked at those YouTube videos again, and they had voiceovers from somebody who sounded very young.
And he did mention taking that one entire business class in middle school.
Yeah. He's legitimately like a middle school kid trying to like, and here's the thing too. We talked about this on stream a bit. I can't tell if he was trying to scam me or if he genuinely was unaware of how scummy his business practices were coming across. Because at that age, he probably just didn't have the critical thinking to realize that.
Right. That's not illogical to think that a 13-year-old wouldn't realize that. Like, that's completely rational.
Right. So then he hits me with, stop accusing people. Really, I'm not saying it's just you. Lots of other people need to stop accusing, which, first of all, if lots of people were accusing you of being a scammer, don't you think that's more of an indication of you than the people who are accusing you? Just saying.
Yeah.
And then he hits me with, because in the future, they don't know how big they could miss an opportunity. Basically, he's trying to say that he's going to blow up in the future and I'll be sorry.
Yeah. Huh. Wow.
So I said I'll take my chances. I said I'd take my chances, and he responds with that he's going to record all of our chats, and that my fans would agree with him, and that I'm accusing him of doing something they don't, and trying to make fun of someone when they're being serious. And I was like, you can save all of this. I'm literally sharing it to my Discord right now, bro. Like, they're not on your side. I guarantee you they aren't.
Right. Oh, God. Oh, man.
He tries to ask me, like, what proof I have that he's trying to scam me. And to be fair, again, I'm not certain if he's trying to scam me or if he's just genuinely unaware of how scummy this all seems. But what I told him was, you're trying to take money from people for a service you are incapable of providing. That's scamming. And I told him being a dumb kid doesn't excuse that fact.
That is true.
And this is the response. These responses are so ridiculous. I genuinely couldn't believe some of them. So he said, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Incapable, buddy? My team has access to a business email."
Whoa! First of all, now he's got a team.
Yeah. So he told me he had a team of people. He says, yeah, he has, I have people, I have managers. I'm not going to be treated like shit like you are doing to me.
God, now, do we think he was 13 or do we think that that's like part of the play?
I do genuinely believe he's 13, again, because of the videos. I just think his quote unquote team of people was just a bunch of his friends.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
But like the balls on this kid to say that he is legitimate and not a scam because he has access to a business email. Like, bro, anybody can have access to a business email. I have a business email.
Right. Yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not that. I have several business emails. I have business emails for work and business emails for my channels, you know?
Yeah. Oh, God. Jesus. Man, you've had some great scammer stories the past couple weeks.
It's great. And this one was just killing me. I could not believe it. I could not believe that. So at this point, like, I'm just trying to like, this kid is making my day with how funny this all is. And I don't feel bad fucking with him a little bit because he tried to fuck with me and he tried to fuck with my people. Mind you, when he reached out to someone on my Discord asking for an investment, it wasn't a small investment. He asked for $5,000.
Ooh, yikes. Damn. Okay.
So I tell him, again, you know, if you're trying to sell a service you can't provide, it's scamming. And I told him, if you want to prove that you're not scamming me, tell me what you can provide to me. And he responds, we provide Zoom meetings, and that's an hour and 10 minutes for appointments. If you have the 1-year marketing plan, we can help you through the whole year. And I respond, none of that is actual marketing. What are you going to do to market my work? That's just like, that's nothing. We have meetings every now and then.
Right. Oh, I'm assuming he didn't provide you with any information.
Not really, but like it goes on because I kept trying to get something out of him. I said, explain marketing in your own words. And he said, we help promote products and we help advertise. I'm like, all right, that's a fair answer. But then I asked him, how? And he said, that's what we personally do. Not that means anything. I said, marketing isn't promotion or advertisement, marketing isn't promotion or advertisements. It's how you do those things. What are you actually going to do for your customers?
Right.
I said, where will ads go? What will they look like? How will they engage the consumer? I said, these are questions that a marketer can answer. I pulled something off of his website. I said, why should we trust you guys? This is off his website. His website had a question on it. Why should we trust you guys? Which is, most people don't need to put that on their website. But
yeah, exactly.
What they wrote was, well, for that question, we are rated and we have proof of all our people that we've helped grow in the recent past and helped their company grow farther than it was. We as well have all workers supervised. None of that means anything. But there was one part of it that stuck out to me. So I said, show me the people you worked with. It says in that statement that they have proof of the people they've worked with. So I said, show me the people you've worked with.
Yeah.
He said, I can't show you that. It's private information.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I said, you said your website says you will show people you've worked with. So that's just a lie?
Damn.
He responds, the thing that shows who he worked with and is in the FAQ section. It's currently being developed. So I said, in other words, you have no proof of any kind that you can do anything.
Right.
He said, we have proof. We had an old website. It was actually on Google. And like I said, we wanted to move to a different platform, different style website. Like, okay, so the fact that your website was on Google is somehow proof that you're a competent marketer?
Right. Right.
We do have proof of recent bookings, our first purchase since we started a few weeks ago, which we cannot preview that information. So I respond, you have proof, but you can't show it, and you're just expecting me to trust that it exists.
Oh, God. Yeah.
He goes, we're going to have pictures of those things on our website. And I said, okay, but at this moment, right now, you have no proof. All you can tell me is that you will have proof and that your website is unfinished.
Correct.
So again, I'm digging through the website some more. I'm looking at some more things. I noticed that there is a section, and mind you, this is pretty clearly like a pre-built template website. So this isn't too shocking that this like section exists, but it doesn't really work. So he has a section on his website. It's got like 3 panels. It says new products, most popular, and best value. But if you click on any of those panels, they all lead to the exact same thing, which is a 1-year marketing plan for $70.
Okay. But but that gets you Zoom meetings, right?
Oh yeah, Zoom meetings. Maybe even access to a business email if I'm lucky.
Damn.
So I asked him about the fact that all of these things redirect to the same product. And he said, like I said, that's easy for us to connect. And I said, but you haven't. I said, you're trying to sell an incomplete, inadequate, inaccurate service.
Right.
Like, why would you try to reach out to potential clients if your website isn't finished and you have no proof of what you're capable of doing? You're basically just asking me to trust you.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
we're coming to the end. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's not a good look for a business that's only been around a couple weeks. That's just their main tactic is like arguing with potential customers.
No, it's not a good look at all. It doesn't help their reputation. Not any more than their terrible website and awful YouTube channel does. Right. Ugh. And ultimately, like that is the biggest, like one of the easiest ways to tell a scam, right? If you claim that somebody is trying to scam you and they react by trying to convince you that they aren't, that's usually not a great indication that they aren't a scammer. Like when they try to argue with you and like try to guilt trip you into believing that they're legit, like that's not right. That doesn't help anybody. If someone asks you if you're a scammer and you can provide proof that you are not, that is the correct response. That is not what this guy's doing. Right. He's basically just saying, I'm not a scammer. Trust me. The fact that you're accusing me is really fucked up because I just told you I'm not, you know? Right. I'm not a scammer. I have this very basic website and a YouTube channel that I can't even market myself. Oh yeah, and I'm 13 years old. Yeah. None of this is looking good. Bro did take a business class though. I mean, like that's huge. That's big. He did. He took one whole business class in middle school. Damn. So we're coming to the end of this. He's pretty upset with me. He's not a fan of me. He says, I'm just going to expose how you accuse people of scamming and I'll spend a whole $30 with Google ads just for you to see your face on there. And I have no way of knowing if this kid did this, and I'm sure that you know this as well, Mike. $30 of Google ads buys you like maybe 1,000 ads, which is nothing.
Right.
Nothing on the internet. There's maybe 4 people who genuinely saw my face, and I doubt any of them took it seriously. So he wasted $30 on trying to cancel me, and it got nowhere.
Right. Right. Like, no offense to you, Mac, but you're not the internet celebrity that if one person sees that, they'd be like, holy shit, Captain Mac did this, and then like spreads this throughout the internet. Like,
yeah, it just doesn't work that way.
No. I highly doubt anyone who, well, if he even did it, I highly doubt any of those people recognized you.
Yeah, it's absurd. He said it as if like I would eventually see those ads, and like there's no fucking way. Even if you bought a lot of ads, there's a very low chance that I would see it. You know?
Yeah.
But with the amount that he was going to use, you can't buy anything. That's not a large amount in the advertising world.
No, it's really not. Huh.
So finally, like we're at the end of our conversation. He says, "I never lied to you. I've been telling the truth. How we're going to add pictures on the site and ratings on the front page of the website." So I told him, "All right, well, try me again when you actually finish setting up your business." And I put business in quotation marks, and I don't think he liked that.
Oh, damn. Before you said the thing about the quotations, I was going to say that you actually ended that reasonably friendly towards him, but then
I don't think we ended on friendly terms at the end of it. This was his response to me putting business in quotations. He said, "Yeah, bitch, I can't wait to expose you for doing what you do. You are a sick fuck who sits around and thinks he's just going to get money every day. You spoiled bratty bitch. You accuse me of scamming? Wow." Then he blocked me.
Yep. That's the way to do business. Yikes. Yikes. Holy shit, man. That's a fucking story. God. I feel left out. I mean, I've had a couple phone calls recently that come up as like scam likely, so I just haven't answered, but maybe I need to start. Maybe I need to come up with a story for the next episode or something.
It was. I've never had a 13-year-old attempt to scam me, but I'm so glad I did, because that was such a fun excursion.
Oh, damn. Mac battles the kids. Shit. Speaking of kids, I do have a slight little update here. I picked up a couple new movies. I got the original Secret Life of Pets, so that's completed now.
Good job, man. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah. I saw it. I saw it for $5 at Target, and I was like, well, got to complete that one. And then I also picked up Casper because, you know, it's spooky season.
I saw that movie when I was a kid, but I really don't remember it that well.
It's a solid Halloween flick. You know? Nice kid-friendly Halloween movie. Nothing too scary. Because he's Casper, he's the friendly ghost.
Yeah, it's just a nice movie. It's like Halloween Town. Like it's more like the Halloween vibes than it is the Halloween spooks.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I'll have to watch Casper sometime between now and well, I guess Monday's Halloween. So I got like almost a week here, so we got a little bit of time. Yeah, so that's a couple new movies I picked up, but Yeah, the big one was completing that Secret Life of Pets collection now. So whew.
That's
Now-
big. That's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah, now I can actually put them on my shelf. I was waiting because I knew I was gonna get the first one, and they're all in alphabetical order. So every time you put something away, like everything has to be shifted. So if I pick out some movies, I got to make sure I'm like done buying movies for a while before I put anything away. So yeah, that'll be a little project. I get to alphabetize again. It's always fun.
Yeah, I need to pick up a second bookshelf so I can finish putting up all my movies and books and Gundam kits, because there's still a few that are in boxes.
Oh damn! And you've been out there almost exactly a year now, haven't you?
Yeah, well, for the first while, it was because I was waiting on the Billy bookcase at IKEA to come back on stock, and it never did. So I eventually bought the one that I'm using now, and then I haven't bought a second one because I'm cheap.
I gotcha. Yeah, I ran out of room on my. I have two identical DVD shelves that are next to each other, and if you didn't know, it might just look like it's one. But I ran out of room on there. God, I don't know, probably like a year ago, and so now like the end of the alphabet is like spilling over into like the storage space in my my TV stand. But yeah, I've kind of run into the same issue where like they don't make the same one I have anymore, so I can't get a third one. And then I mean, well, physical media is already rare as it is, so your options aren't as broad as they used to be. And then I'm like, God, do I really want to buy like 3 new shelves? So I just haven't. But maybe the next time I move, I'll make the investment. But for now, they're just staying put.
Gotcha. Yeah, at this point, I don't think I'm going to buy a new bookshelf until I move out of this place, since I intend to move out of it when my lease is up, and I don't want to have an extra bookshelf to move.
Yeah. Damn. So have we been doing an entire year of remote episodes now?
I think so, yeah.
That's so crazy. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this longer apart than we did like in the same room.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. That's kind of nuts. Damn.
Wacky.
And we're up to 84 episodes. Holy shit. Huh.
Uh-huh.
Mac, I want to tell you this happened a while ago. But I think I've talked before how I always have really weird dreams. And they're usually like super, super realistic. And I actually have 2 dreams in my notes. One's not that great, and it wasn't me. Mike had a dream a while back that I got kidnapped.
Okay.
Which I think is kind of funny, but that's like all he really told me about it. But the dream that I had, this must have been back in the spring. Cause I was going through a big hummus phase where I was eating a lot of hummus.
Man, it was taking it by the spoonful.
Yeah, damn, man. I was just shoveling that shit in. No, hummus is decent. I like it. It's a good little snack every now and then. But for whatever reason, I don't know. It probably wasn't even that long. It was probably like 3 weeks in a row when I went to the grocery store, I bought a container of hummus, and then I haven't eaten it again since then. But so in my dream, my bed, like I woke up in my dream and I was in my bed in my dream. But instead of my bed being a bed, I was tucked into a giant container of hummus.
I thought it was going somewhere like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So just picture like a round bed, and I was just like somehow like tucked inside of the hummus. And Lily will get me up to get like a drink in the middle of the night, which is always super annoying because I'm like half awake, half asleep. And she gets a drink for, like literally 5 minutes. Yeah. And so like I'm always like sitting there, like I don't want to like turn the light on. And I was just sitting in bed, and I don't know if this part was during the dream portion. I think it was when I was awake. But either way, I convinced myself. I don't know if you're much of a hummus eater, or if you eat hummus at all. But you can get like different flavors. There's usually like a plain, like a roasted red pepper, and then there's always like a garlic hummus. And I like garlic myself, so I usually get the garlic. And I usually throw a little extra in there because they just put like a blob in the center of it. And it's never enough garlic. There's never enough. And so as part of this dream, I was going to sprinkle more garlic into my hummus bed while Lily was up getting a drink, so that I didn't accidentally sprinkle garlic on top of her. Yep, this is the kind of shit that I fucking dream, man.
I think you need to cut back on the hummus, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I dream about weird shit like this all the time. It's always some sort of weird fucking dream. I have to start writing them down again.
I got to get into that habit too. I was asleep in my car during my break at work today because I didn't sleep well last night, and I had some weird dream, but I can't remember it right now.
Yeah. Mine are always super weird. Sometimes I write them down. Sometimes I remember them and just want to not remember having them because they're so like freaky and so realistic. There are definitely days where I'll wake up and it'll take me a good like 10 or 15 minutes to figure out whether or not that really happened or whether it was a dream. My head's a weird fucking place, man. Let me tell you.
We all got some weirdness up in our heads and on our heads.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I've mentioned this before, but dreams where my teeth fall apart are like real common. That's like
I heard that's a common one in general, but it's never been one for me.
Yeah, I think it's probably like a subconscious, like you're grinding your teeth in your sleep. So like, you're like clenching your teeth. It probably doesn't feel good. And you probably associate that with like you're clenching your teeth so hard they're going to fall apart. But then by the time you wake up, you're not like clenching or grinding your teeth anymore. But I've never had the dentist mention it to me that I grind my teeth. So I don't know.
See, I have been told I grind my teeth, even though I don't get those dreams. They made me get like a mouth guard where they like molded my teeth with that fucking disgusting teeth mold shit. I don't know if you ever had to deal with that, but it's awful.
I mean, I've never had to do it for like sleep, but like playing sports growing up, like you have to like bite a mouth guard and have it moldy your teeth. So, I mean, I've had to do that before.
No. So this is they get this like it's like a soft goo is how I'd describe it, and they layer on like a ton of it, and then they you have to like keep it in your mouth for a minute or something like that while it hardens to the shape of your teeth, and it's disgusting. It tastes awful, and after they like remove it, it's like all stuck in your mouth. It's fucking horrible.
You know, now that you describe it, I have had to have that done when I got a crown. They had to like take a mold of like the tooth that they were going to be putting a crown onto to get like the shape of the crown right.
Okay.
So yes, I have had to deal with that. And I've had 2 crowns. Neither of which were bad actually. But the first one was my old dentist who, let me tell you, man, I miss that guy. He was a real character. His first name was Kermit, but he like owned that shit. And his like entire dental office was decorated in Kermit the Frog and like frogs everywhere.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So he owned it and he was a cool guy. But his like dental practice was like really, really super outdated. Like it was run out of like an old house. And like we've probably talked about this before, but I have like an ultra sensitive gag reflex. And x-rays are a huge pain in the ass for me. And like the way he had it set up, like either him or his hygienist, whoever was doing the x-rays, would like get you all set up, and then they'd have like the little like remote control to like take the x-ray, but they would like run out of like the room into the hallway to avoid the radiation.
They always do that. It's like, oh yeah, it's totally safe, and then they hide in a different fucking room. It's like, oh, I believe you. I'm sure it's totally safe.
Yeah. So when I had that crown done, he took like the mold, and then he like went into like the basement and made me like a temporary crown, and had to like send out to have the other one like made at the crown making factory or wherever they come from. So I had to come back like 2 weeks later when they like replaced the temp and put the real one on. But then like he retired, and they're like, oh yeah, all the patients, like, if you want, we've just assigned everyone to this other dentist. And so I've gone back there, and that's like night and day. It's like super fucking high tech. Like when I had my second crown in, they took the mold and like had my crown made and ready to go and put in within like 2 hours. It was fucking fantastic.
Really? It's always been like a couple of days, something for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're just like really high tech. Like they've probably got like 20 chairs in there, and I swear they're like all being used at the same time. And their x-rays are like super quick and relatively painless. So, yeah, I dig that place.
Yeah. My they made me mold one of those awful, horrible mouth guards for sleeping, so I wouldn't grind my teeth anymore. But it was so uncomfortable that I couldn't sleep, so I stopped wearing it. So that didn't fucking work.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always kind of wondered, like I know like some people like have to wear them, and realistically I'm probably one of them. But like I feel like one of those like CPAP machines that you wear at night that like helps your breathing or whatever to get better sleep.
Yeah, how can you wear that? It looks so uncomfortable.
Like I'm sure it fucking works, but I don't know how you can fucking sleep with that thing on.
I'm sure it's just a matter of like getting used to it, right? But how do you get past that initially? Like, how do you get used to it?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand how people do that.
I couldn't. I guess like it's one of those things you probably just have to get past, because like there's a recognition that if you can get used to it, you will be more comfortable and sleep better. But like the first couple weeks have to just be complete fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I already like don't sleep well as it is. I can't imagine like adding that on top of it.
I completely agree with you. That just sounds like the fucking worst.
Like there's some days where like I'll get no fucking sleep at all. Like I'll sleep like 3 hours in a night and I'll be like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to sleep good tomorrow. And like the next night rolls around and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get like an extra long workout in and really just fucking wear myself out. And then I'm like in bed, lights are out, phone and all electronics are down. And it's like fucking 3 hours. I'm like, well, looks like I'm not sleeping for a while now. Like, I can't imagine adding like the equivalent of like a gas mask on top of that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it either. I couldn't fucking swing it.
No, I just like, I don't know how people like even do those sleep studies where you have to like fall asleep with all sorts of like electrodes on you. Like,
Yeah, like there has to be some part of those tests that is that is like at least partially inaccurate, just because
right.
like people struggle to sleep with that shit on. Like I know I would.
Right. If you're doing this to someone who already is having issues sleeping, I can't imagine that's going to help the situation.
Right, you're just gonna get like them not being able to sleep plus 10%, you know?
Right. Like yeah, like the results may lead to, you know, treatments for like how to get better sleep, but that can't be like an accurate good night's sleep. Like
No.
just being like, well, yep, I'm just going to show up in this strange place that isn't my normal bed, and you're going to hook me up full of electrodes, and I'm going to try and go to sleep. Like, I don't know what you do. Do you have to just like stay awake for like 48 hours straight before that? Or like, what the fuck do you do?
I feel like you have to like you would have to show up with just your normal system in place, because they will need as accurate a result as possible. They probably have to account for some variance level with that. Like there's a recognition that like, oh, their sleep's gonna be a little worse because we're doing this to them. Like I would hope the doctors are accounting for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so. I would hope that is the case, but damn.
Who fucking knows? I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it may tell you your breathing isn't right. You need to wear a CPAP machine. But that thing is really going to fuck with you until you get used to it.
Absolutely.
Like, God, I have enough trouble sleeping, like, if I don't have a fan on, or if like it's a little too bright outside. Like if I know I've got an early day and I got to get to bed early during the summer when the sun goes down at like damn near 10 o'clock, like sometimes it's hard to fucking fall asleep with it being light outside still.
Oh, believe me, I feel that.
Well, yeah, exactly. You get it. You got to go to bed early. You got to wake up early.
I've got darkness curtains that I'm forgetting the name of because of that.
Blackout
curtains. Yes, I have blackout curtains because I can't sleep with like the sun out.
Yeah, I actually almost picked up some blackout curtains the other day. I saw some on clearance, but I had literally no idea how big my window was.
That does make it harder.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I'll measure and I'll pick those up later." And then that was like a week ago, and I haven't done it, so it's whatever. But yeah, blackout curtains have been something I've always wanted because I definitely sleep better when it's dark.
They've helped me for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of nights where I go to bed when the sun's still out, but I mean, even just any kind of light, like, you know, all the doorways in my courtyard have a light above it so people can see going in and out of the building. Well, two of those doorways like face my building. So like the courtyard's reasonably lit up. It's bright enough. It's kind of like having a street light. So a little extra dark time would be preferable, but you know, you make it work, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man, we don't really have time for the whole story, but I recently replaced my computer's motherboard, and my old motherboard used to have this like bright ass RGB lighting on it that was always on when there was power coming out of the computer. So if I was like sleeping in my living room, I had to be facing away from my computer because it was so fucking bright. It would just like burn through my eyelids, but that's no longer the case. And I'd like to tell the story of replacing my motherboard at some point because it's an interesting story, but not today.
That's fair. This has always bugged me, and it kind of goes along with your motherboard situation. My Blu-ray player that's in my living room, it's really not a big deal because like I'm not trying to sleep in my living room very often, and if I am, it's a nap, so it's not like, you know, not like I'm really trying to get good sleep. And if I'm taking a nap, it's probably light outside, because if not, I would just be going to bed. But my for some reason my Blu-ray player, it has a red light that comes on when the power is off.
That's strange.
Yeah. Like everything else, like TV, cable box, like my other Blu-ray player, like most electronics, you turn them on and there's like a red power light, or maybe it's a different color, but there's some sort of power light that comes on. Nope. Blu-ray player, it turns off, the light goes off when you turn it on, and it turns on when you turn it off. It's so weird.
That's very strange. Yeah, it really bugged me when I was I'm not as affected by it now, but it really bothered me when I was younger, like when I was in high school. If I had like a charger on like a wall outlet that had like an LED on it, because that's pretty common, I would literally like get like a bandana and put it over the light because it would just bug me so much to have that on in the corner of the room.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I remember doing that with, there was something, I don't know if it might have been a charger back in the day or something, but I remember like taking like several layers of paper and like taping them over one of those lights to like fix the problem.
Yeah, totally.
God,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, hope you folks are doing well out there. This is the end of the episode. I hope you all have a nice day. I'm not going to say anything mean this time.
Wow. All right. Have a nice day.
Psych! Fuck you!